How are you there? I do not know how many of you have heard the leaked audio of one of the comrades in ZANU-PF Harare addressed to the chairperson of ZANU-PF Harare province, Comrade Goodwills Musimirembwa. The audio was Comrade Nyoka Yemapuno addressing the Harare chairperson, being basically angry at him at how he is abusing power and flock marching the people in ZANU-PF to chant ED2030. In this angry audio, which I think was sent via WhatsApp to a ZANU-PF WhatsApp group, the angry comrade Nyoka Yemapuno accuses his chairperson and Owen Ncube in particular for hiring mercenaries against ZANU-PF members ahead of the Bulawayo conference that just ended last week. It is reported by Comrade Nyoka Yemapuno. Obviously, he says this and he knows that all the other people in ZANU-PF know that it is true that Owen Ncube's gang, which is the machete wielding gang in Midlands and from Midlands and also from Wanke. By the way, for those who do not know, this machete yielding gang is actually illegal gold panners who are causing havoc in the rural areas in Zimbabwe and in places where there is gold and other mining activities. These gangs, they are actually criminal, violent gangs who carry machetes and their law unto themselves. The first time I had a close encounter with them is when I've heard that in my own rural area of Plumtree area, that side in Bronabek, Makubu, that whole side of Mamango, where there is gold there. There's a lot of gold mining there. At some point, those people, those gangsters, would kill villagers, okay, for no reason, because they just want the gold. And I heard that my relatives were no longer going out of their houses in the afternoon. People were sleeping in the afternoon the whole day because they were afraid of these machete-carrying gangs. And these gangs are reportedly supported by Owen Ncube, an ally of Emmerson Mnangagwa. How in the hell can you imagine this? The president of the country was supposed to protect everybody, working with the leader of the CIO, criminal intelligence organization, supporting or actually recruiting these machete-carrying gangsters to terrorize villagers. This is terrorism. Terrorism in the state house. State-sponsored terrorism. The president of the country and Owen Ncube. Now, even ZANU-PF people are now crying about this thing. When Comrade Nyoka Yemapuno, he's coming out, he's telling you who he is, he's not hiding his face. I do believe that we must stop hiding from these criminals masquerading as leaders. We must now tell them. That's why I make videos and I put my face, because I want you to know who I am and what I stand for. And I'm telling you the truth. Owen Ncube and ED2030, what you're doing is wrong. Now, let's get back to what they were doing at the ZANU-PF conference. These terrorists, actually these guys are terrorists. Criminal is an understatement. These terrorists sponsored by a CIO, a CIO director, Owen Ncube. By the way, CIO stands for Criminal Intelligent Organization. That's criminality there. That is turning a state institution, which is supposed to be a central intelligence organization for the purposes of protecting our sovereignty, and the leader, oh God, the manager, the boss, is the one who is sponsoring terrorism inside the country through these machete carrying gangsters. Not only are they terrorizing people in the opposition or just general people in Zimbabwe, but now they're terrorizing even within ZANU-PF. You see, we've been prophesying about ZANU-PF, that God is saying there is suffering and oppression coming to ZANU-PF. And here it is, we're getting it now. Owen Ncube and his gangs were terrorizing ZANU-PF comrades from the provinces that were suspected to be supporters of General Chiwenga or against the ED2030 slogan. Now, Comrade Nyoka Yemabono makes it clear and says, you know what, we voted for ED in 2018, we love him. We voted for him again in 2023, we loved him. But by 2028, as the constitution says, he must just retire and to go ahead with somebody else. For that, Owen Ncube is going to round you up using the criminal gangsters, these machete yielding gangsters from the Midlands. This is what we're dealing with. These ZANU-PF people, delegates, were threatened, threatened to support this ED2030 mantra. So that's why we're talking about manufacturing consent. When those that were suspected, even though they were accredited, because Owen didn't want them, because he thought they were anti-ED, they were not allowed to even enter the conference. So the conference already was rigged by ensuring that those that are anti-2030 do not even have access to the conference, so that the voices that were in there are pro-2030, pro-ED2030. But even them, they're also victims of this violence of Owen Ncube and ED Mnangagwa. Seeing what is happening to the other comrades who are suspected to be General Chiwenga sympathizers, and seeing these machete-yielding gangsters who are feared across the country, and should I repeat it, that were killing villagers in my own village, my own relatives could not even walk in the streets in the afternoon. People were telling me that they were sleeping at 12 o'clock. You go to the villagers, there will be no one walking in the streets. Everybody will be indoors because of these machete-carrying gangsters. They're causing havoc in the rural areas. And nobody's talking about it because they cover it up. And it is sponsored by Owen Ncube. No one else but Owen Ncube, the Director General himself of the CIO, the one who's the intelligence officer who's supposed to protect the sovereignty of the country. He's the one. Owen Ncube, let me tell you something, Mr. Ncube, if you're listening, you should listen. My name is Ngobani Zondo. You are so lucky no one takes me seriously. You are so lucky no one listens to me. But on the day that they finally do, and I become president of Zimbabwe, if that unfortunate eventuality happens, I'm giving you 60 minutes, sir, to pack your bags, take your passport, and get out of Zimbabwe. You see, I'm a very nice guy. I'll give you at least some time to escape. I'll make a pathway for you. 60 minutes at most. Run. For if you do not, I'll throw you in jail. I'll throw you in jail and throw away the keys. Because you are radicalizing our youth, taking advantage of those youths in Manicaland who are jobless and even with very poor education outcomes, and you utilize that for your evil benefit, giving them those weapons to terrorize villagers so that they can get gold for you. And that gold, it does not make them rich. It makes you, Owen Ncube and ED Mnangagwa, rich. But we keep them trapped in poverty so that they can put some sort of a private mercenaries for you and your evil president, ED Mnangagwa. Hear, therefore, the word of the prophet of the living God speaking to you, Owen Ncube. When we hear that bad news to you, that Ngobani Zondo is now the president of the Republic of Zimbabwe, 60 minutes, I'm sure it's enough. I will instruct my people to give you 60 minutes and a safe passage to get out of the country, for if you do not do that, say, all hell will break laws. I am not Nelson Chamisa. When I oppose, I oppose. I am not these opposition leaders whom you buy so that they can soften the resistance. We are not only resisting, you say, we are removing you from power because you are a criminal. Owen Ncube say, you are a criminal masquerading as a politician. You do not deserve to be a boss of the CIO. You are a disgrace to our sovereignty. You are a threat to national security, together with your boss. You know whom. We thank God for brave comrades, like Comrade Nyoka Yamapon. In a new and fresh Zimbabwe, Comrade Nyoka Yamapon, I believe, should be given a chance to do the right job of building our country and getting rid of the ills that have been happening in our country. ZANU-PF members are not the same. Just because somebody is a ZANU-PF member does not mean that they are evil, or they are corrupt, or they want Zimbabwe to fail. It's a narrative pushed by a competitive opposition for political reasons. The truth of the matter is that ZANU-PF is an organization, just like any other organization, made up of people. He's also prone to violence and corrupt leadership. And it also has got the ability of having within its ranks people who see corruption, speak against corruption, who see ill discipline, speak against ill discipline, and desire a good future for our country. Comrades like Comrades Nyoka Yamapon in Harare province. I do believe that he is not the only one who thinks like that, but there is many other comrades within the ZANU-PF structures who believe that corruption must stop, ED must be stopped, that ED2030 madness must be flushed in the toilet, and Owen Ncube must be stopped from abusing our young men. You see, I do not have an issue with those machete-carrying gangsters. I will tell you why. Because these internal terrorists are a product of ED Mnangagwa and Owen Ncube. They are the ones who created an environment to breed such kind of violent behavior. Should we have a proper leadership in the country and a proper mining code, there will be no need to kill anyone for gold, for there will be proper access to mining activities, proper remuneration, and there will be respect for human rights. But because ZANU-PF, through Owen Ncube and ED Mnangagwa, they have denied our people those rights, and they have created through various other denial of various other human rights violations, they've created an environment where these gangsters will have to arise. It's like the new drug crisis in Zimbabwe. I do not blame the young people that are addicted to drugs. I blame the politicians who have got policies that create an environment for such to flourish. So in a new and free Zimbabwe, we need to take leadership therefore and rehabilitate these MaShurugwi and integrate them into a formal mining system and respect them and give them their dignity back and teach them how to live when integrate them with society. And I believe in that way it could be a proper way of leading our country into some sort of national healing. And for us to heal, just like all injections and all pills, they destroy viruses. Owen Ncube, you're a virus to our society. That is why, as nice leaders, we give you at least time to vacate from office. Just do the right thing. Leave. We do not want to do anything again, is to just leave. Jonathan Moyo was allowed to leave and he went to Kenya. You too, sir. Leave. Go to a country of your choice. We do not need you in our country. Because I cannot have an influential person who was running a criminal intelligence organization, a network of criminality, sponsoring homegrown terrorism, still allowed to roam around the country in a new and free Zimbabwe. We cannot allow that. That is risky. It is a threat to our national security. So, Cheshire, in ZANU-PF, the war is raging on. Another thing that happened, former Air Force Marshal Ellison Moyo was involved in a car accident in what some believe is an attempted assassination. The soldiers are being targeted. Why are they being targeted individually? Because they're the ones with the real power that can move mountains and authority over armies, influence. And the elements of darkness in our country want to eliminate that kind of resistance. For they did recognize that sooner or later, eventually, the citizens of Zimbabwe are going to get it that no, actually, our power lies in the institution that we created for safeguarding our sovereignty. And that institution is the army. At some point, the people will turn to the army. So these criminals, this cartel, know that. Eventually, the people will figure out Diri is not with Shamisa. He can't do anything. Diri is with the guy with the guns. Who can make a man sing hallelujah. So the criminal elements of our country begin to eliminate these people one by one. And we have been warning that they too really need to make a move right now, very quickly. And I will not tell them what move to make, because it's not my call. My call as a citizen is to conscientize even our generals in the military. It is high time you live up to your pedigree and do that which you were instructed to do. For the Lord is coming. He's coming for the faithful, for the righteous. Be faithful to the sovereign. Be faithful to saving nation. Be faithful, soldier, to saving the interests of the nation, not the interests of Owen Ncube, who is turning our youth into terrorists. That is a criminal offense, a crime against human dignity. Turning young men who do not have opportunities into terrorists to align the paces of those in power. Such an atrocity should be condemned. Owen Ncube will definitely not be needed in the new Zimbabwe. And comrades of ZANU-PF must stand strong against this corruption and oppression. Do not be used. Do not allow the name ZANU be used criminal elements in the party. We in the opposition who are not in ZANU-PF recognize your struggles and your pain and the place where the devil has put you in. And we recognize also the importance of holding hands even together with you. It's not time for political contestations. It's time now to fight for country. And fighting for country means good men come together against bad men. And good men are everywhere. So are bad men. I'm gonna stop this video here for today. Have a blessed day.